Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today that's pretty wild. And Athletes are getting robbed at a record pace. And you need to hear this because you need to make changes in your life as well. Please hit the like button as always. Please subscribe to the channel. And today we have a sponsor, Private Internet Access, which I will talk about in a bit. But first things first, guys. Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes were arguably two of the most popular football players in the country right now. They play for the Kansas City Chiefs. Their houses, within the last month, were both burglarized while they were at a game. Not traveling out of town, but they were at their own stadium in Kansas City. They came home and their houses were burglarized to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, what's wild about this is that this is a South American Chilean gang that goes out and they use social media, they use drones, they use sophisticated security devices to go out and to see that the people are gone. And when they do that, what they do is they then go rob the house. Now, what's wild is you'd think, okay, well, Patrick Mahomes has got, the best security in the world. Does he? What if you bribe a maid? What if the electrician was there and he had access to the key code and gave it to somebody? Now, the weird thing was Travis Kelce's home was burglarized the same day. So they think that these people use jamming devices to jam the security in the house, which is unbelievable. So the NFL, NHL, and NBA all issued warnings right now to say, listen, you guys need to stay vigilant. And when you travel and you leave the house, not leave the state, leave the house, you need to make sure that your house is protected and understand that these people are out looking for you. Now, the athlete's life, these guys are posted on social media, Instagram, they're just all over the place. So with that, these guys know their schedule. They know when they have an away game. They know all that stuff. Now, when I travel, somebody stays at my house, guys. Plus you've got Rosie that if somebody walked in that would eat them. That's first of all. There's that. So people have that to look forward to. But I'm telling you, I cannot believe that this is happening. There were two NBA players in the last month. Mike Conley of the Minnesota Timberwolves, professional basketball player. He was at a Minnesota Vikings game and the house got robbed. Isn't that crazy? Was not playing. He was at a NFL game and they robbed his house. Now, these are not, losers. These are people that are very sophisticated with what they do. They caught one of the ringleaders, a 35-year-old guy, and they just determined that this guy was incredibly smart with the way that he handled these burglars. Isn't that wild? So the other one was Bobby Portis of the Milwaukee Bucks. He was at a game in Phoenix and traveling, and they robbed his house. So again, this happens all the time. You have to protect yourself. There was an Orange County couple in my city, in my county where I live, and these people, just absolutely got destroyed because what happened was they had $6 million worth of jewelry. Now, who the frick has $6 million worth of jewelry at their house? Well, these people did, and not anymore because, like they said, the burglars hit the lotto when they won this house. So went in there, it was a bunch of classic jewelry. Carol and Jeff Starr were celebrating their daughter's wedding and left. Now, guys, I am telling you this right now. In the world of this, I had a friend's dad die, and this was 1995 when Jerry died. And we grew up around this guy. Went to high school, was at this family's house all the time. And when my friend Becky's dad, Jerry, died, we were all at the funeral. And my friend's brother, Steve, he's married to somebody whose dad's a cop. And the cop called the police and said, listen, we're at the funeral. And I was like, why would you do that? Well, you don't understand. The funeral was listed in the newspaper. The memorial was. So we're all out of the house. They know we're out of the house. And thieves go through that. And I never thought about that. Never once thought about that. Now, the police department, local police department, talked to a guy who looked suspicious in front of the house. Now, was he going to rob the house? Who knows? But what was he doing there? What was he in the neighborhood for? That's crazy, guys. So these people do this all the time, guys. They go out and you have to protect yourself. So, you know, when we advertised Lisa's memorial, my late girlfriend's memorial 2 years ago, we, did the same thing. We called the police to let them know that we were going to be out of the house. Now, I live next door to a cop, so I'm not worried about that. And whenever I leave for the night, I tell this guy, hey, check it out. Make sure, anything goes wrong. I always say shoot first, then call your friends, but which he finds funny. But anyway, that's just me. That's Dan. Okay. So needless to say, guys, this is getting to become a real problem. Now, the thing about this is when you have teams like baseball teams, baseball season hasn't even started yet. And this year they anticipate, because baseball players can be on a 10-day road trip, and that the crime is going to exponentially, grow. So wild to think about. These people use everything. Security jammers. You need to protect yourself, though. You need to have hiding places in your house where things get hidden, where people don't know about stuff. If you have cash in your house, don't put it in the obvious place. The top drawer above my socks, don't do things like that. Make it so that people cannot hide it. Now, once again, just let somebody know that you're leaving. If you have anybody that's not in your house in a regular routine, like a worker or something, and they have to use, if you have an alarm system and they have to use it, one thing that was repeatedly said in all these stories is give these people a separate alarm code, so that if they have to get in there and you're not there, it's the electrician, it's the plumber by his code. So if that code is used, it's his ass. Okay, so understand that there's a lot of things you can do, but man, oh man, this is getting worse, and crime is awful. These people come in on work. Here's the thing: they come in on work visas for 90 days, and then they don't have to go through a background check. I'm just here for a short period of time, and they don't have to answer to anybody. Is that nuts? Is that insane? I think it's crazy that we're seeing stuff like this. So let's hope there's changes to things like that. But protect yourself, guys, because the bad guys are there. And as the world gets more desperate, they're going to get more sophisticated, which seems crazy, but they're getting smarter and smarter and smarter. And these pro athletes, man, I feel sorry for them. Even Mr. Taylor Swift, I felt bad when I read that story. Okay? So let me know what you think so far. Let's talk about our sponsor, Private Internet Access, VPN. A VPN is a virtual private network, guys. It is something that you cannot live without. When I travel, the first thing I do is turn on my VPN. And what it does is allows me to surf the net and go to any website and be completely anonymous. You need this, guys. You need this in your house. You need it to protect yourself so that when you log into your bank account, you can be protected. You don't want the government to know what you're doing. You don't want thieves to know what you're doing. And as we talk about, a video with the crime aspect, get yourself a VPN from Private Internet Access. It covers your entire house. Every device is covered right now. Their Black Friday special includes 83% off, and it's so simple to use. All you do is flip one switch and the VPN is turned on. There's no hardware to install. I absolutely love using this thing. See how it's not protected right there? And all I do is press one button and I can surf the net. As soon as it goes green like that, I am protected. My VPN is on. I can change countries. I can change, states if I want. My daughter is huge into Formula One. She switched to watch the Formula One race from her VPN to watch the local channels. Very cool. Check out Private Internet Access today. Use the link below. Save 83% off. Let them know that I allegedly sent you. Now, some criminals are not smart. In fact, they're stupid. Michelle Gara, you may say that she's on the dumber side. she kept a journal, which is nice. You should journal, right? You should list your hopes and dreams and goals and things you've done in your life. I always recommend that. Only problem was Michelle Gara stole a van and wrote down, oh my God, frickin' stole a van today. And then took it to a chop shop to get cut up for parts. When they tracked the van down from this genius's post, they found out that the van had already been cut up and that the chop shop had been working on that. Isn't that insane? What an imbecile, okay? So, needless to say, that's crazy. Now here, how about this one? Florida couple went and bought their dream house for $790,000. Great deal. Bought it from Russian nationals. Okay? Vladdy's friends. Anyways, these people sold the house, and then 90 days later, they got a bill from the IRS for $30,000. Huh? Why? Well, when you are a foreign national and you sell real estate here, you have to pay the capital gains tax. If you don't pay it, they go to the people that bought the asset. Isn't that crazy? So this couple, Brian and Ingrid Zapula, they bought this house for $790,000, and they had went through a lawyer and had all this legal transaction done, but come to find out that the people that sold to them never paid the IRS. So they're like, hey, you got to go after those people, and they're gone, guys. They're in Russia. So I'm telling you guys, when you buy property or you do anything, make sure that you can make sure everything's above board and paid for. I mean, you have enough problems with Florida with insurance and property taxes and everything going wrong. Isn't that nuts? Now, they're recommending that the lawyer that handled the transaction, he's going to be responsible. But one thing I've noticed about lawyers is when it comes to paying the bill, they don't bend. They just like, I'm going to fight you on this. So it's a cluster and a big mess. And I just thought that was wild. So let me know what you think about this. Have you ever heard about this? Because the capital gains tax, let me give you an idea, 10%, IRS form 8288. I always love mentioning this because people go click on that stuff. So 10% of the capital gains taxes if you're a foreign national. How many people stiff the government on that? That would be a great study to see how many people don't pay those taxes when they go out and buy or sell property and have assets like that. What do you think? Let me know. I'm going to finish this video with these last few stories. Joslyn Sunback is a company that's owned by the Eaton Company, and they're a Paso Robles manufacturing facility. And after 40 years of being in business, 40, they're shutting their doors for good. That is crazy, guys. 40 years done, down the tubes. Now here's the thing, 65 people are losing their jobs. So here's that thing is that warn thing that they have to do where they have to basically warn everybody that they are losing their job with the 60 days notice, and that will be the middle of January. I'm sorry, I feel so bad for these people that right before Thanksgiving you find out, hey, you're losing your job, you're done. So that's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. So next thing is Gen Z. I hate all these terms. I can't stand them. Boomer, Gen Z. You know, I was born like right between two of them, so people call me both, and I just don't listen. But Gen Z are the people 18 to 24 years old. Think about this. You guys want to be successful. If you can sell them something, they are on their cell phones. Listen to this, a staggering 6 hours a day on average. Is that crazy? 6 hours a day looking at your phone. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, he pulled off what he wanted to do. I will never forget in Facebook's infancy in 2011, he was talking about, hey, you're going to share things like meals, pictures, places to go on Facebook. I'm like, who's going to do that? And sure enough, they did. And Gen Z probably are not on Facebook, but they are out spending 6 hours a day on the phone. And one thing that we've talked about in the past that is definitely coming out more and more are the PPP loans. I'm telling you guys, I've had 6 great stories sent to me this week where people lied and did multiple PPP loans. The things that blew me away is people would go out and get PPP loans, payroll protection loans for companies that had no employees. And again, I think it's an I-9 form or that one form that you fill out with the IRS that lists your employees. And that by doing that, it makes it so that they know who you took taxes out of. These people would go out and get multiple PPP loans for the same company. They just go to a different lender. You don't think people would catch that? Oh yeah, and then they'd get it, forgiven. And it's just crazy, using the same paperwork. Well, one NFL player, this company had a construction company, and their bookkeeper, the owner, and a former NFL player, um, Dana C. Howard, on 9 counts, including wire fraud, bankruptcy fraud, failure to pay taxes. These guys just squandered the money. They bought stuff like you wouldn't believe: cars, properties, everything. Again, billions of dollars. Here's the thing about this: commerce was spurred, business was increased, but nothing good came out of this stuff. Jobs weren't saved during this time. I've told you guys stories about doctors and people my daughter worked for, horrible people. People did nothing with the money but line their pockets. So please don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Email me, hello@iallegedly.com. And a lot of cool stuff coming out, a bunch of announcements. Make sure you're on our email list. The link is below. Sign up for that immediately, okay? Because you don't want to miss it, okay? I'll see you soon.